Are you a goalkeeper who's been currently released by a professional football club academy or soccer club academy, or you've just been released by your club in general, no matter what level you're playing? If this is for yourself and you're downhearted at the moment as a goalkeeper, or maybe you're a parent of a goalkeeper and you've obviously trying to obviously motivate your goalkeeping child, this video will be for yourself. Now, not a month goes by that we don't get asked this question by our students. Oh, by the way, this very quickly, if this is the first time you've watched our videos, my name's Ray Newlands. I'm the founder of Just for Keepers, J4K for short. Long story short, we've been going since 1998, so for over 25 years now. We're the leading and largest goalkeeping schools in the world. Had our people in 37 countries across 6 continents, and I'm very proud to say that we've helped more goalkeepers achieve their dreams than any similar organisation in history. Between myself and my fellow J4K coaches, there's over 1,000 combined goalkeeping coaching years experience between us. So it's safe to say we know what we're talking about, and we obviously, like I say, we're coaching our students every single day all over the world. And this is one of the most common asked questions that we get. And obviously, it's always difficult as a goalkeeper getting released from any club, especially if you're a young, even as adults, when we get released by a club, it's heartbreaking. But obviously, for a young goalkeeper, it feels like it's the end of the world. But I'm here to tell you, please don't worry about that, okay? Yeah. If you've been currently released by any club, it's just part of football. So I'm just going to give you hopefully some tips to get over it. But the first thing that you've got to just remember, it's part of football, it's part of soccer. These things are going to happen. So if you see me keep looking up here, by the way, I've wrote some notes on a whiteboard, so it's going to help me go through this process with yourselves. So the first thing is just remember all the positives. Remember, you've signed for whatever club you signed for. That club, the coaches, they thought you were good enough to sign for that club. And whether you've been there for 1 year, 2 years, a few years, remember, obviously, first of all, the positives that you were good enough to sign for that club. It doesn't mean you're bad, by the way. It doesn't mean you've gone bad because they've released you. I'll explain a bit more as I go through this quick video. But remember, as I say, remember the positives. First of all, remember, that you were good enough to sign for that club. And also to just remember all the positives that, while you've been training and playing for that club, the friends that you've met, the places where you've probably travelled, the teams that you've played against. Like I say, meeting the teammates. I think I've already just mentioned that. Obviously, making friends with your teammates, all the coaching that you would have received, good or bad. You've been, what I'm trying to say, you've gained experience, so you've got to take that out of it. So the first positive there is. First positive, like I've already mentioned, you were good enough to sign. The second positive, you've probably made new friends, and all the coaching that you've got, you'll be a better goalkeeper, and that's going to arm you for the next stage in your life. So the first thing is remember the positive, and also please remember this as well: the best of the best get rejected. I won't go into detail, but I can reel off just a lot of so many professional players now who've played professionally at the highest levels, played internationally. And they were rejected, okay? They were rejected, okay? It's, again, as I keep saying, it's part and parcel of football, of soccer. We are going to all get rejected from time to time. And I'll come up in more detail in a moment, but actually I'll mention it now. Sometimes it doesn't mean that the coaches that have rejected you, by the way, it doesn't mean that they're right in what they're saying about you, okay? Because anything in life, you get the good, the bad, and they're very ugly. And these, like some coaches, even at professional academies, okay, it doesn't mean just because they're at a professional academy that they're right about yourself, okay? So please remember, again, if you just do a bit of research in Google, you'll find that, the best, like I say, some of the best players, some of the best goalkeepers in the world, they were once rejected. And sometimes they go back to that same club a few years later, and that club pays millions of pounds or dollars or euros for that player. So don't necessarily think that the coach is right. There could be many reasons, why you got released. He might try to save on money. The coach, seriously, this should not happen, but it does happen. The coach just might not like you, or they might just prefer another goalkeeper, even though that other goalkeeper is not better than you, even though everyone's saying, hey, that goalkeeper is not better than you. If that coach prefers that other goalkeeper for whatever reason, they're going to pick that goalkeeper. So I say, don't necessarily think, like I say, that the coach is always right, okay? And again, just very quickly, I'll use my story very quickly. I was rejected when I was going for trials. I actually never played for any academy, so I got rejected for every trial that I went for. They don't do trials as much now, but when I was younger, many years ago, you used to be able to write for a trial, and then the football clubs or the soccer clubs would bring in players from all over, and then literally you'd play games, and they'd be just the coaches would be walking around, and they were looking for like a diamond in the rough. I went to many of those trial games and said, "Hey, look, you're not good enough." Time and time again, I was told I wasn't good enough. Well, what happened is I eventually achieved my dream. I played professional for 10 years. I played for clubs like Everton in the Premier League. On one of the contracts I signed for Plymouth Argyle, and the manager who signed me was the legend Peter Shilton, who's the most capped goalkeeper in English history. I think he's actually the most capped player in English history as well. Absolute legend in the game. And he signed me twice. So I had all these coaches saying, "Hey, you're crap, Ray. We're not going to give you a contract." And then the most successful goalkeeper England has ever had actually signed me not once, but twice, guys. Okay. So again, it doesn't mean that the coaches are right. Okay. And also, again, remember, again, I'm going to go back to, you've got experience now, and now you know what to expect. So obviously you've gone through that process. Obviously you've gone for trials for the club, being at the club for the first time. And it's always very daunting when you go to a new club for the first time. You're meeting new people, new teammates, new coaches, and it can be terrifying. But now you've done it once, you can do it again. And I'll guarantee every time, you might get rejected 5-6 times before you achieve your dreams to become professional. But every time you get rejected and you go to that next club, you know what to expect, so it gets easier and easier. And going back to myself, I honestly believe the reason why I actually got my professional contract in the end is because I was rejected that many times. It just made the next it made the next process, the next trial, the next football club that I went to just that bit more easy, because I'm like, yep, I'll just do it again. So again, you've got a greater chance of success now. That's what I'm trying to say, because you've done it once. You might have done it twice or 3 times already. So you now know what to expect at the next club, and you can do it again. Okay, yeah. The next point is you can do it again. If you've done it once, you can do it again. You can do it twice, 3 times until you achieve your dreams. So you know what to expect, and you can do it again. And I'm going to mention as well, it's just part of football, guys. Okay, yeah. I know it's tough. And I know it's not nice, obviously, when you get released or you get rejected by any club. It's not nice. But as I say, go through all the points that I've said, that I've already mentioned, guys. Okay, yeah, it's part of football. You've got that experience. You've got all the positives out of it. Try and take as many positives as you can out of it. Because like I say, you know what to expect next time you go to that next club for that trial. And this is my last point I'm going to leave you on. Never give up. Okay, never ever give up. Probably not, I'm going to say probably one of the main reasons why I achieved my dream as a professional goalkeeper, and why most goalkeepers who become professional achieve their dreams to become a professional goalkeeper. They just did this one magic thing. They never gave up. No matter how many no's they got, no matter how many people said that they were a terrible goalkeeper, they were too big, they were too small, they were too fat, they were too skinny, they just never gave up, never gave up. And they took the positive out of every scenario, good or bad. They tried to squeeze that positive experience out of every club that they were at, put my teeth back in, every club, football club or soccer club that they were at, every training session that they participated in. They just try and take the positives out of it. And what happens is you build that resilience just by never giving up. I promise you, one of the main reasons why I achieved my dreams is that because I never give up. And what happens is the longer you do it, I guarantee it's less competition. Now that competition gets better. I'll be honest with you, it gets better and better, because obviously you're now, even though that you're competing with fewer goalkeepers, they're the ones that, are ready to go. They're the ones that are going to never give up. They're the ones that are going to keep trying. Because what you'll find in when you go for trials when you're younger, these hundreds of kids turn up, and as you get older, it gets less and less and less and less, because sadly, most give up after the first attempt or second attempt. But if you keep trying after your 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th attempt, and you just keep going, you never give up, I'll guarantee the chances of you achieving your dreams will strengthen. But please remember, I say, the competition will be less, but the standards will be much higher, not only physically in between the sticks on the field, the goalkeepers will also be more mentally strong. And last tip as well, please make sure that you join our free online program below, because you have to become mentally strong as a goalkeeper. I've done loads of videos on it. I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video because I'm finishing now, but there's no shortcutting around it. There's no negotiating. You have to develop your mindset just as hard as how you develop your physical techniques when you train in between the sticks and when you play your games. And the fantastic news is, guys, okay, yeah, mindset is so easy to do, and we'll show you how to do that by joining completely free of charge. And you can train your mind anywhere. So if you're suffering from anxiety, confidence, low self-esteem, low self-belief, you really need to join our free online academy, because we'll help you become bulletproof as a goalkeeper, and I'll guarantee that will help you. The stronger you are with your mindset, the stronger the chances you're going to achieve your goalkeeping dream. So I hope that helps. Please remember, if you got released by any club this year, please don't worry about it. Go through this video again, just go again, and never ever give up. Oh, sorry, comment below as well. If you've been released recently, how did you cope with that? Or if you've been released by a club in the past, how did you deal with that? And how did you bounce back? Please comment below and help your fellow goalkeepers. All the best. Take care for now.